Welcome in, everybody. Welcome back to Chaos Incorporated. We missed all of you. We got a heck of a show tonight. We only have this one and one more before we end Season 1. So make sure you're staying by to end Season 1 with us. And then we're going to go on a brief hiatus. We will keep everybody involved and let everybody know exactly when we're going to come back. It's probably going to be, late June. So, for everybody who's been watching the show, we really, really appreciate it. It's been a good time. I, of course, am Alex the Humanoid. I am joined by our great cast of characters. And since they put so much effort into thinking up a quote for tonight, we are going to open up with Shawn.
Some will sell their dreams for small desires, or lose the race to rats, get caught in ticking traps, and start to dream of somewhere to relax their restless flight.
And now that the rest of the cast is both amazed and like, dang it, now I got to follow that, I'm going to bring in our next person. That would be Caleb, playing Zed Lane.
How do you document real life when real life gets more like fiction each day? Answer, eat the rich.
That seems to be the theme of today, if anybody's been paying attention to all the social media feeds. Oh boy, it's going to be an interesting Identico After Dark this week. So, join us on Wednesday for that, which brings us to our next member of our great cast, and that is Steph playing Apex.
Now this is pod racing.
Okay, you know what? And maybe we'll do this. We'll do this. We'll do this sort of thing. I liked episode 1. I don't care.
I've grown to appreciate the prequel trilogy.
Right?
There are some good things.
I like it for Darth Maul and the comedy, even though it wasn't meant to be a comedy. But I still love it.
It gave us Ewan McGregor as Obi-Wan Kenobi, and that's enough.
Hello there.
Okay.
It also gave us Qui-Gon. Qui-Gon was amazing.
Yeah,
I love
Qui-Gon. Okay. And
great Anakin quotes.
Exactly. Like, this is pod racing, right?
Yeah.
Wizard Danny.
And speaking of the bearded, or one of the bearded people of the group, the Qui-Gon Jinn, I'm going to say, of this group, that would be Michael playing Maxi.
I do what I do because I am broken. We are all broken.
I like to sometimes think that we're a little bit sprained, but not completely broken. But that's a wonderful quote.
This is why I do dumb quotes, because everybody's so, like, deep. And I'm just gonna.
That wasn't a quote. I was just stating facts.
I mean,
well,
exactly.
Fair.
So, to recap our last episode, our team had gotten trapped in the Malfinia Tower when they went under lockdown because someone had attacked the Malfinia campus in Seattle. At which point, Apex was made and had security teams chasing her through the bowels of the building. After getting picked up by one of the security teams, our intrepid group of, we can't really call them heroes, but we'll call them something.
Protagonists.
Our intrepid group of protagonists devised a series of plans that involved a lot of trickery, pulling fire alarms, and a more than a fair bit amount of parkour. Okay? Parkour. And getting to rescue Apex, culminating with Maxi pulling the ultimate get by stabbing himself in the stomach.
Or Qui-Gon Jinning himself in the stomach.
That too. Oh, we went there too.
No,
Too soon.
I mean, I hate to spoil this, but Maxi survived stabbing himself.
That's true. That's very, very true.
The lightsaber is all.
So, Maxi was taken to San Francisco General because he survived his self-stabbing to trick the guards at Malfinia. Zed sent a very snarky Yelp review-like email to Malfinia telling them that their building was a dumpster fire. And that is where we will pick up our show today, 3 days later, as the team in their very, very cool van goes to pick up Maxi at the hospital. where he has fully recovered.
Can you remind me if we got the information we needed?
You did not.
Okay.
We did get a little bit of information,
You
though.
did get a little bit of
Shawn did.
information, but you have not parsed that information yet.
Okay.
Strangely enough, we were made before we got to really do anything.
We weren't actually made. We panicked. Let's be fair.
Well,
we were
No
we
way.
were caught in the crossfires of other events.
Did
Yes.
Okay.
Wasn't entirely my fault.
We're going to blame an entirely unrelated group of people to us for our misfortunes.
I mean, that's fair.
All right, so we're picking up Maxi.
Yes.
I think we're in the mystery machine.
Yes. And you've just pulled into the drive-through pickup area at San Francisco General.
So is this like a modern day hospital where someone's like kicking Maxi out of a wheelchair?
That's what I assume.
Not so much kicking is trying to make sure Maxi stays in the wheelchair, because I see Maxi being the person who's like, I don't need the wheelchair out. And they're like, tough crap, you have to be in the wheelchair.
Yeah, for sure. Like, Maxi is clearly irritated by having to sit in the wheelchair. Like, he's not fighting the poor, the poor intern that's pushing him down the stairs. Pushing him out into the not pushing him down the stairs, pushing him down the ramp out into the parking area, the pickup area. He's not mad at that person. He's just frustrated by having to sit there.
Is Chone driving?
Oh,
So-
yeah.
All right, so I'll open the sliding doors. We get there, and I'll lean down to help Maxi up and into the van. So, how you feeling?
My side is a little sore, but other than that, I seem to be fine. Thank you.
We refilled the waterbed if you want to sit on that. Might be softer.
Makes for a smooth ride.
The least amount of jostling, the better.
Did you get
Good
those good
thinking.
drugs?
The first day they had me on a drip. I requested it to be removed.
Man, this is the one time it's free. You just gotta enjoy it.
I was concerned for a possible reprieve, and I thought I should be ready.
Fair enough.
Did
Speaking
we
of
pick
which,
you up sooner? Did we miss something?
No, we didn't miss anything that I'm aware of. I simply wasn't sure that my plan was going to work to the effect I had hoped it would. It
I
seems,
start driving
however,
back towards the hotel in this dialogue.
yeah, it seems, however, that the security forces appear to believe I was a casualty of the exfiltration and not a member of the exfiltration. And we left no one behind as a witness.
so Alex, in the past 3 days, I'm assuming the three of us have just been chilling in the hotel.
Yep. Anything else you'd like to have done during that time is permissible.
I would have just been scanning the news feeds, checking email.
What happened at the tower in San Francisco barely makes a blip in the news feeds because there is so much going on with the attack on the SeaTac campus that they mentioned that there was some sort of conflict inside the Silicon City headquarters building, but not a lot of information is coming out about that. You don't receive a reply to your email from Malfinia.
Rude.
And, interpret that how you will. We're too busy to reply, or we just kind of got lost in the shuffle, or we're intentionally not saying anything. I mean, that's up to you. But, again, what happened to you has been pretty low on the priority list as far as news media goes.
So nothing major in the news. No one's come knocking on our door. No drones buzzing us or anything.
Not that
crazy.
you've noticed. You think you got out pretty clean. And now that Maxi's telling you that there were no witnesses left behind, that fits.
So as we're driving around, okay, well, we're back together. Seems to be we're clean for now.
Yeah, had some fun.
Maybe we don't have that much fun again for a little bit.
Yeah. I agree.
I do require a few days worth of rest before we can have that much fun again.
Yeah, fair.
Maybe we could have some low-key fun?
Sure. Like food-related fun, maybe? We always like that kind of fun.
I've been eating hospital food for the last 3 days. I could use something decent.
Oh, let's get a drive.
Maxi, what do you want, Maxi?
I
Your
don't
call.
know. I'm still getting my sense of taste back from the anesthetic. So I'll eat
Something
whatever the group
flavorful?
wants to eat. Something flavorful would be wonderful. Thank you.
Spicy, maybe? There's a spicy taco place. It's kind of on the way.
Again, any food is better than what I've been eating, so whatever suits the needs of the group.
Yeah, sounds good to me.
Shawn will pull into the next drive-through of note.
Well, the next one of note would be a large food truck alley with about a dozen food trucks down a closed street that they've now permanently bollarded off from vehicle traffic. But you've managed to find some street parking nearby and wander into the food truck alley. You are assaulted by a cacophony of smells. Everything from, Thai, French fusion to Mexican, Chinese.
Maxi's stomach audibly rumbles.
Apex. That's a cupcake stand.
Cupcakes.
But
Like mini cakes. It's perfect.
Shawn heads that way immediately.
See,
Yes, I also go.
we keep telling everyone the cake is not a lie.
We get a box of a dozen assorted cupcakes.
Each.
Like most stands of this, they
We're
are
gonna share.
very generous with the frosting. They're all very colorful.
Are there sprinkles?
Oh, on about half of
Is
them.
it like that edible glitter?
They have some of those.
Maxi has picked a very plain cupcake, but is eating it on a small plate with a knife and fork.
Maxi, little tiny plastic knife and fork.
Love it.
In between bites, Maxi will ask the group, did anyone bring my spare firearm?
I didn't think about it. Sorry.
We left everything locked up in the hotel. I'm sorry.
I didn't want to
I mean,
ruin it somehow.
Understood. And then Maxi will grab a couple of these spare plastic knives, and you see him like snapping the tops off the plastic knives to make them like shivs. And he sticks a couple of them in his shirt pocket.
Maxi, I have my firearm you could use if something happens.
Oh yeah, same. Like you're
Much better at it.
These will suffice for the moment. I don't expect we'll be in any trouble.
I hope not. We were
Yeah,
just
but
gonna
you-
plan on heading back to the hotel.
And you shouldn't be stabbing people when you've been stabbed.
But then you know how to stab better. I mean, you learn from
Actually-
experience.
Zed has a very good point. Once you've been stabbed, you understand what a stabbing feels like, and
Is this
But
your
your
first
stab is
stabbing?
healing.
yes, my wound is healing. I have been stitched. They did use surgical glue. I don't believe it's in any danger of opening.
Okay. I just don't want you to aggravate it and end up back in the hospital in the gown that doesn't close completely in the back, eating tasteless food.
As long as we don't have to rescue anyone from an elevator, I think I will be okay.
Thank you, by the way, for rescuing me from an elevator.
That was fun. That was pretty fun, honestly.
pretty epic.
You two jumping from cable to cable was scary as hell and impressive to watch.
You didn't train like that? I mean, that's normal. There was the training course in the corporate office.
I went through the training course. I did not do it about dangling above an elevator shaft, however.
Well, no, but
I had
the prerequisite ropes course should have been part of your management course training. At least the lower level management course training.
They don't
and I passed it.
Here.
We can get you that, but I passed it. But you have all the big padded things on the floor, so when you fall down, you don't break your neck. They didn't have that in the elevator. Not in the elevator.
The ropes course I participated in did not have padding.
No. I mean, there's like the introductory level that has padding that's in the facility. And then I think you and I went to that ropes course that was like out in the jungle where we were like 50, 100 feet off the ground.
Oh, yes.
And then
the rope and zipline course, yes.
Yeah. And then I went to the corporate retreat to move ahead that actually brought in some of those like sports stars where they do the jumping and the flipping and the off the building stuff. They brought those
parkour?
Yeah, but it's like the competition. It's like world extreme sport. I think like they used to call it ninjas before that became just a stupid term.
Oh, like a ninja warrior thing.
Yeah, like that's what they call it in the old days. This is like the new evolution of it.
Yeah, like the vintage.
Yeah. So I went to one of those
before they
extra
realized
retreats.
that they were pirating another culture.
Yes. Yeah.
Right.
I don't know. They gave me like arm pads, knee pads. I was wearing headgear and something that inflated when I fell down. So I think I was just.
Oh, you got the executive package.
Maybe I had to pass it to get my position. That's all I know.
Oh, you were wearing the impact vest. I understand.
Yeah.
So yeah,
We can get you one of those.
Real impressive. Thank you for rescuing me. I was real nervous there for a bit, not having access to a glow, not getting any messages on my Qualcomm. It's just so
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Yeah, don't you have? Wait,
Hey.
you talked on Qualcomm before. Like, you have that, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So.
I forgot.
Okay. Next time we're in a pinch.
There were fire alarms, and I was
that was me.
I was hacking a reactor, and you were in danger, and there's explosions and things, and I got a little confused.
We have a Qualcomm.
Yes.
But well done on the reactor. That's badass.
That was very impressive.
I will show you the code later. It is. I captured what we're going to be able to market that. I think to our contacts.
These cupcakes are very good.
We should probably get something with protein though.
Yeah, I've got this like spicy beef kimchi with some udon noodles.
Oh.
If you want to get in on that.
Ooh,
certainly.
I'm gonna grab some of the teriyaki skewers. I'll be right back.
Ooh, good call.
And then there's a fresh donut stand down that way when we're done, like right out of the fryer, sugar on top.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh, and they're all warm and they just like melt in your mouth.
Mm-hmm.
Maxi has one bite of the kimchi, kind of wipes his mouth, stands up, and heads toward the donut stand.
I'll follow.
Shawn comes back with 24 teriyaki skewers and looks at Zed. Where did everybody go?
Donuts.
Okay, more chicken for us.
Cookie Monster, that stuff.
Caleb, as you are sitting there, you see someone very brazenly walk over and sit down at the concrete picnic table that you all have kind of staked out. And you see it as your IOG contact, Adeline.
Oh.
She's like, everyone recovered?
Hi, boss.
You're not dead.
Surprisingly, all of us are alive and free of capture/repercussions currently.
You managed to get out of Malfinius Tower without getting caught during a lockdown.
Cupcake?
Donuts?
Oh, donut.
Yeah,
That'd be
donuts.
great.
Everyone goes nuts for donuts.
Says that on the box.
Did you manage to get anything from them?
Little.
Shawn, would you care to take that question, please?
I
We were
got
busy.
away is what I got.
A little. Probably shouldn't be talking about it here, though.
She pulls a little puck out of her, jacket, sets it on the table. She's like,
Okay.
we're clear.
I have some of the control codes for that will scram the reactor that they had in the building.
She goes, that was you?
Yes.
She goes, they're claiming it was an accident.
Nah. It did take him a good 16 minutes, 20 seconds to override.
Which, again, impressive you managed to hold them off that long.
Yep, but we're more than happy to share that knowledge.
Yeah, could be handy. So what did you manage to slice anything out of there?
Not really. The attack on their Seattle campus happened almost immediately when we got there, and everything went completely insane.
She goes, that's a bummer. I was hoping you were going to get something out of them.
Tell me about it.
Maxi, did you manage to pull anything from the HR?
I didn't get in fact, our interview did not even begin before things went south.
Same.
We were hoping that was going to help us.
I did note, however, that in the midst of a crisis situation, it is very easy to move around the security floor without being, stopped.
She goes,
That's useful.
the machine seems to think that the war is coming soon.
Oh, we might have gotten something if it hadn't been for those morons who attacked the Seattle campus.
Well, nothing we can do about that right now. And the other silly folks out in Seattle have been warned off by some of our subordinates. Now, that all being said, we think that Seattle's going to calm down for a little while, as most of those folks have left town.
Do you know for where? Like, are they coming here? Do we need to brace ourselves?
No, I don't think they're heading for Silicon City. One group's heading their way out into the wastes. I'm afraid they're going to go after one of Benevolent's facilities, but right now they're otherwise engaged, and the other ones are kind of wandering right now. We'll see. Tough to say. But I don't think they're headed here. So that's good news.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Where are we at in the whole avoiding the war thing?
We were hoping you were going to get some information that we could feed to the machine and see if they can figure out a way to avoid the war.
So do we have any other variables that we can play off of other than we're all fucked?
Unfortunately, we don't know how far along everybody's research, nor do we know where a lot of this is going on at. Unfortunately, a lot of them have gone pretty dark as far as where they're doing all this stuff. It's just a matter of time before somebody finally feels the need to start launching cruise missiles. Oh, and let's not forget that the Russian Federation parked a helicarrier over the Olympic Peninsula west of Seattle. Diplomatic relations.
That's bad.
We
I
think
mean,
they're sending...
diplomatic if you consider overwhelming firepower diplomatic.
I mean, it's not like they don't have overwhelming firepower there, but again, tensions are ratcheting up.
So are they ratcheting up because of something that's driving the war, or is them ratcheting up what's going to cause the war?
Right, that's what we're trying to figure out. We're trying to figure out if somebody's wagging the dog or what.
what do you need?
I
what do
she's
you
like,
need?
I came here to check in to see if you got anything out of Malfinia. She's like, I'm not sure where to go from here. Right?
Oh,
We know the merger with UWI's got something to do with it. We know Malfinia has something to do with it. And we know Benevolent has something to do with it. My guess is that, along with the schisming of Las Agage, is what's finally going to drive this into an open conflict. We're just trying to figure out who's going to shoot first to see if we can slow them down.
Okay,
That's not-
random idea. It's
Oh, I
probably
love
a bad
those.
idea. Probably
Ooh,
a
I
bad
love
idea.
those a lot.
There are no bad ideas.
Bad
There-
ideas are the best ideas.
Adeline looks at you. She's like, no bad ideas?
There are definitely bad ideas.
During team building exercises, there are no bad ideas.
Okay.
There are stupid ideas. There are no bad ideas. Go on, Zed.
But I love those too.
So we know, as far as we can know anything, that this has something to do with some of this biological engineering on humans, this next level weapons development, right?
Human augmentation.
Magic.
Both of those are great terms. We don't know a whole lot about it, but we've gotten some bits and pieces.
Yeah.
We saw what Maxi saw on the boat. And then we have our contact that has some of these augmentations.
Yes.
What if we go back to that guy who's been kind of hanging in the weeds for a while we've been busy?
Didn't you kill his sister?
A
Not
sibling.
provably.
I did
A sibling did die while we were in the area.
Yes. I killed her.
He doesn't know that.
Oh, he definitely knows that. He was there when we killed her.
He was not. He was upstairs trying to barbecue me. I mean, he's got a pretty good
Probably.
circumstantial case of it,
Yeah,
figuring it
yeah.
out, but
I also just
I-
gave him a lot of money.
I believe, and I could be wrong, but I believe there were two of them on the top floor, and we killed the third person.
No, there was
The
only
sniper was
there was only
No.
two. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, there was two, and because she I think had the sniper, and you dealt with her, and
Yep.
then he ran, and that's when
That
we
is
saw
correct.
the firepower.
very politically correct. I dealt with her. Very
Zed's good at
nice
his
way to put
job.
it. Very nice way to put that.
Zed is very good at his job.
He is.
Yeah.
So possibly we could trace something through him. Like, could we chase that thread where he got his augmentation?
We're pretty sure he got his augmentation from Malfinia.
Wasn't it
Hmm.
Kelly Aguilar?
Yeah, but Aguilar was the freelance scientist who's kind of working everybody.
Okay. I see.
I mean, we know those people were being shipped out to those camps in the waste, possibly to be augmented.
Yeah, well, the last shipment of them that went out was that team in, again, Seattle that managed to hijack the shipment after you funded the relocation efforts.
And Aguilar has kind of been playing all sides. She's just selling her services, selling her tech,
Right.
probably.
Yep.
Would take
Could we
down?
make her an offer or extract her from where she is?
I mean, you could give it a shot.
Can we deal with her?
We need to. If we can find out who she's been in bed with,
Yeah.
you know, who she's been giving her tech to, and how far along they are. That might give us the info we need
Yeah.
to feed to the machine.
Because the point here is not that this technological advancement exists. That's a known fact. What's unknown is how far along it exists in these multiple camps that are potentially opposing each other.
Which
Right.
she would probably know.
We'd hope.
Theoretically.
She would at least know what information she'd given to each party involved.
That's true. And somebody like her is bound to keep backup records.
Maxi, what are you thinking through all this?
I'm thinking I'd like another order of donuts.
Ooh,
I'll
get the
go get
caramel this
them.
time.
I'll go
Caramel.
get them. I'll go get them. You guys.
Caramel and peanut butter.
Oh, there's peanut butter? I missed
Yes,
those.
Ed.
So,
Shawn
I
goes
mean-
off to get donuts.
You could take a look at Aguilar.
Yeah, let's.
I mean,
Let's
where
check
else
it
are we
out.
going to start? Honestly, I mean, we're kind of in the breeze at this point. We don't have a target. We might as well start there.
That makes sense.
Yeah, let's.
She's got a house down on the south end of Angel City in what used to be San Diego. Big place, right on the water.
Fancy.
Big place like that probably has a lot of tech.
Yep.
Tech stackable.
Knowing her, she's probably got a lot of off-the-grid air gap stuff, though.
True.
Yes.
It
Can
will
I
not
do
be our
just-
first infiltration.
Can
Also
I do
true.
just like a general search on her for just like what's available on the web, like without digging too deep?
She shows up in a lot of journals, a lot of medical journals, a lot of stuff like that. That's where her primary stuff is. She has a website that has, some of her CV on it. But you've seen her CV before. She's a respected biological researcher. She does a lot of work as a corporate freelancer for tech companies. That was why it was notable when you were first researching it that she'd gone to work for Malfinia, who at first glance is a power company.
Does any of that new stuff, surface level that it is, describe anything about her working with Malfinia? Like, even if it's like corporate doublespeak kind of stuff?
Oh yeah, no, she's got a list on her website of notable clients, just like anybody else in her position would. She's worked for just about everybody for at least some period of time. She's worked for Benevolent. She's worked for Malfinia. She's worked for Dynamic Design. She's worked for Urban Warfare Industries. She's worked for Upgrade Yourself.
Don't like her.
Yeah. Is she currently working for Malfinia?
No, doesn't appear to be.
Does it list who she's currently working for?
It does not.
Last known employer was Malfinia, but probably, right?
No. The last, because she was working with UWI during the merger.
Oh.
Because that's why she
okay.
was at the club that you all were investigating when you
Right.
killed his sister.
Because we took a shot at her, or Maxi took a shot
I-
at her.
Yeah.
No, Maxi killed the COO.
Maxi missed her on purpose.
Yes.
Right.
About this point, Chon returns with a dozen donuts, a mix of caramel, peanut butter, and coffee-infused Bavarian creams filled.
Ooh.
Nice choice.
Good choice on the coffee one.
Very nice.
Okay. What was our handler's name again? I always forget, and I can't find it in my notes.
For who? For the
Our-
IOG?
Yeah. the one who's
Adeline.
Hanging out with Adeline. All right. So I think this is our best approach. I think we all agree it is. Unless you can point us a different way, talking to Adeline here, we're going to get to work.
I mean, you've already gone after one of the largest corporations in the world. You could go after another one, but for right now, I imagine dealing with Kelly Aguilar would probably not be a terrible idea. Plus, you get out of the city for a couple of days. Head down to San Diego. The beaches are beautiful. I
we
mean,
did say that we should find some time for Maxi to relax.
it's no Brazil, which I know most of y'all were down in Brazil before, but they're pretty nice.
Are there nude beaches down there?
There's nude beaches everywhere.
Sure.
Every
Yes, but I'm
beach is
talking
nude if you
about
try
legal
hard
ones.
enough. Everything's legal if you have enough money. A fine's just a permission slip.
Wow.
A fine is just a permission slip. Somebody clip that
That's
for me.
quotable.
Please,
Disclaimer.
somebody
Disclaimer, Zed is a rich corporate asshole, not Caleb.
clip that for me. That is wonderful.
It was taken care of in the channel.
Nice. So,
I hate myself.
she's like, yeah, I mean, sounds like a good plan. Let's see if we can figure something out before somebody starts lobbing cruise missiles.
Yeah.
All right, well, we're going to get to
Multiple
work. You know how to get a hold of us. Don't
Yeah.
get killed. Good luck.
Also, if you feel like sharing useful information, feel free.
I mean, what do you... Is there anything you want to know? I mean, I might know, but like saying sharing useful information is like saying, hey, do you have any good recipes? Sure. What kind do you like? Like,
Well, I mean, you're kind of like not really helping us much at all. So, just
again, what would you like to know?
you know,
She's like, she listens to you, she goes, Apex, I know we haven't always gotten along, but you have to understand, when you ask something, it's like, if I came up to you and said, hey, tell me your life story, that's going to take more than 5 minutes. Like,
right. But you also know what we're working on and what our goals are.
That's
like, we're
true.
Going after Kelly Aguilar. Maybe you know. Oh, hey, by the way, she works here right now.
I know
Or-
she's married, no children. I know that from everything I've heard, she may be a psychopath.
I mean, I guess that
Might.
based on what she does to people.
But none of the information that you just provided was anything we could not have found out with a simple search on our own.
That's my point.
I believe the request for information sharing is for something that would be less likely to be found in a public information search.
I know that she's got some deal with Benevolent that gets her off planet.
That is valuable information.
I don't know what triggers it because I haven't seen the deal. But she has a deal with Benevolent that gets her off planet.
Are we
Please feel
talking,
free to take extra donuts with you when you leave.
Are we talking like the stations in orbit? Or
Beyond.
Up
We've been
oh shit!
we've been tracking some purchases made through some dummy corps on behalf of Benevolent. He's bought, or I should say it's bought, 7 or 8 asteroids from the SSMC with considerable metal deposits. We don't know what he's doing with it. But there's about 4 stations out in the belt that people are known to wander off to when they want to get extrajudicial outside of, terrestrial authority. There's only so much we can do out there.
Shit.
I mean, if you need us to go out there and investigate, I think
I'm
we'd all
not-
be more than willing
I'm-
to go. 100% on board, right?
I'm not going into space.
Yeah,
That's where your eyeballs explode.
You don't go
How
out without
soon?
protective...
Like- Anyway,
Maxi's
that-
eyes light up a little bit. I am willing to go into space.
Okay.
Same.
You see where we all stand on the space thing.
You're out. You're
So-
outvoted.
So basically,
Face
we
is
need to
outvoted.
not spook her because she could go to ground, and by ground I mean space.
Yep.
So
She
whatever
would
we
only be able to
do-
go to space if we allow her to get to space.
Exactly. We should
The closest elevator to her house is in Central Angel City.
But we also don't know the nature of the deal. It could be some sort of ROV or drone pickup. It could be a VTOL. I mean, it could be something bonkers.
I have to imagine it has to do with some of the asteroids he's buying out there.
I mean, we did well capturing Redcap. We can just do the same with her.
Didn't you kind of do that on the spur of the moment and on the fly?
I do not feel comfortable with that type of verbiage about what happened in the Redcap situation.
She goes,
now imagine what we can do if we plan.
Didn't you guys just like abduct some fixer not too long ago?
Yeah. That one turned out very well.
You're sounding kind of judgmental for somebody who didn't come pick up Redcap when we said...
No, I wasn't saying judgmental. I was saying y'all did fine.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, it did sound a little judgy, but if you meant it as... Maybe we just don't understand, your verbiage yet.
You guys just picked up that Richie Boy fixer and shipped him out to the wastes. Didn't you?
Yeah.
I can neither confirm nor deny.
I mean, definitely
Yes,
someone moved from point A to point B.
I do like how this dynamic where everybody is like being all cagey and then Maxi just comes in with, yes, we murdered them. That is all.
We did not murder him. He was given his life.
That is correct. We did send him out into the wastes in a drone and dropped him off. Whether he lives or dies is up to his own.
He made some choices.
Endurance.
I'm sure he appreciates the life lesson.
He had a choice.
I gotta be curious. Did you have any kind of like eyes on him? Do we know what actually happened to him after we dropped him off?
She's like, I can look into it.
I'm just curious. Morbid curiosity.
For shits and grins,
She's like, I can look into it.
I think we've got a good plan. I think there's a couple calls we can make. I think we can start doing some research. Let's get some to go, and let's get back to work.
You are all stuffed at this point. I've been like in my brain tracking. You've so far had cupcakes, beef kimchi with udon, teriyaki skewers, donuts fresh out of the fryer with sugar on top, tacos.
To be fair, I've had cupcakes and donuts. Apex has only eaten the sugary treats.
So Apex just eats... Apex eats like a 15-year-old is what you're telling me.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Shawn's only had cupcakes and teriyaki skewers. So.
We've seen how Maxi eats a cupcake. I can only assume he's not making it through a bunch of donuts. He's sitting there eating a donut on a plate with a knife and fork.
Did anyone in the group do a cupcake sandwich?
Is that a cupcake between two donuts?
No. You take a cupcake, you take the bottom part of the cupcake off and put it on top. And then squish it down.
No, how I eat cupcakes, which I imagine Apex would do this as well, is I rip off half of the bottom, I eat just that, and then I eat the top. So you get less cake to frosting ratio. And you get more frosting per bite.
See, I'm the opposite. I'll take if
Sure.
there's that much frosting and that much cake, I'll take most of the frosting off and leave. There should be twice as much cake as there is frosting.
Oh no! More
So
frosting.
that just means I give you my frosting.
Right.
This is a win-win.
Win.
So
and I drink your milkshake.
So question to Adeline.
Yeah.
Do we know if our hotel base has been compromised at all? Is that still safe to operate out of for now?
She goes, yeah, it is. A raid team hit your apartment quietly. They broke in to see if you were still there. They gathered some evidence, but I don't think they actually found anything. And
Who's raid team?
that would have been UWI. We think they got tipped off by Identico, but we're not entirely certain. So, anyway, but yeah, we've been keeping an eye out for any chatter that they found your other location. Near as we can tell, they haven't figured out that you're at the Fairmont. People know you're in the city, but they haven't been able to track you. Another good
Cool.
reason you might want to head to San Diego for a few days. But yes, you are safe at the Fairmont.
Cool. So let's get back into the loud, easily identifiable vehicle and go back to our base that no one has found yet.
Do you know what's... She goes, you know what's ironic about that loud, easily identifiable vehicle? Who would think that 4 covert operatives were running around in the loud, identifiable vehicle?
Exactly.
And especially
Thank
since
you for getting it.
she goes, if you want to see something funny, I can show you the operative profiles they've drawn up on the 4 of you.
Oh, that'd be
That
fascinating.
would be interesting.
Yes.
That would be fascinating.
They
This is the kind of information you can share with us.
they can't see currently for Zed. They're looking for a late model, either dark navy blue or forest green luxury sedan with a valet.
I mean, yeah, if I wasn't
Zed,
working.
you
thought you were
Zed,
calling
you keep
him
your own
a
valet?
late model.
Yeah, I have a late model sedan. Thank you.
And you have your own valet.
I
They're-
am immaculately maintained.
Look, they're trying to guess at what vehicles and stuff that you're in. They believe that Apex is mostly using public transportation. The problem is that the public transportation, the BART is too widespread to put operatives everywhere, and they don't have access to the surveillance feeds, not to any significant extent, right? So they've tagged some stuff. They tagged your old friend Lillian, but she's still up in Seattle, as you know, Apex.
Yeah.
So, they tagged your old friend Lillian. They know she's still up in Seattle. They've got eyes on her bar in case you show up there. And by that I mean they've bribed 4 of the bartenders to text them if you show up. She's flipping through her glow right now. And she's like, they haven't identified Maxi's buddy that owns the Spicy Club out on the east side of the bay. Although I hear Chone and Maxi had a great time out there.
We can neither confirm nor deny.
We did.
I still don't know what they did
I
out there,
believe-
and that's the big
We-
mystery that's bothering me.
We
had
gathered information more than you.
we had more
Ooh, we did not. resolve
fun
that
than
one.
we anticipated, I believe. There was a number of drinks imbibed, and there were a number of people in states of undress viewed.
Cool.
Again, can neither confirm nor deny.
Also, the soundtrack at the club slapped.
Adeline actually laughs out loud at that statement. She's like, believe it or not, you all have managed to mostly stay untagged. The big players know who you are now, and they're aware of your existence. But the problem is that you're not running around shooting up buildings or doing anything like that. You're not... She's like, what's the word I want to use? You're not acting like normal wet work people. They're having a hard time anticipating you.
Because we're chaos, baby.
Yeah.
That's the whole point. This is why we improvise our plans, which is why we got rid of Cap so easily. So,
I still don't feel comfortable with that description of that operation.
it works, didn't it?
Successful operation. Nobody has ever done anything like that before.
Oh, we're fairly certain that Malfinia used a cruise missile on a bar, or some sort of drone-delivered missile on a bar up in Seattle.
Jeez.
Just for giggles?
No, that was revenge for the attack
Hmm.
Wow.
on Seattle.
My goodness, they suck. Yeah, so I say we just like roll up to Kelly Aguilar's place and wing it and
I think we do a little bit of research first, please and thank you.
How about we head down there, do some research, then wing it?
Let's confirm that
yeah.
Ms. Aguilar's place does not contain an elevator.
You're very
And Maxi
good at
looks over at
elevators, bro.
Apex.
Oh,
Let's go
I'll
to the
stay out of
hotel. Let's go to the hotel.
We
do
will
some
take the
research.
stairs.
Do we need to go to a gym first, just in case there's an elevator?
So we can.
I can show
Why
you.
would there be an elevator in the gym? Wouldn't the point be to take the stairs? More cardio?
Believe we should finish our food and move on.
Yeah.
I can't eat anymore. I brought all this extra so we could take it back.
Oh yeah, we're taking it back so we can have like breakfast. You know, cold donuts for breakfast and all that.
All right. So
Well, thank you for the information.
she sends you the files that they've iced out from other people. She also sends you your confidential personnel files from Omni.
Ooh.
Do I have one?
Oh.
Yeah, you're an employee.
Yeah, remember? They got you hired.
Yeah. What's the confidential file say?
It's profiles on all of you.
And what do they think of me?
They're really kind of unsure right now.
Fair. I am a bit of a wild card.
I mean, if Maxi and Zed, if you guys want me to check your profiles, I can totally look.
I mean, I'm pretty sure I've read mine already.
I'm unconcerned about what my profile says. If you wish to read it, feel free.
Yeah, go
No,
for it.
no,
There's probably some of the
that is-
entertaining stuff is in there.
I mean, it's private. I understand that. And if you guys want to know, it's fine.
I have no concern for privacy where the three of you are involved.
Well, let's head back to the hotel and deal with that there.
Yep, and we can pack.
So you meander
We're
back
going on a road trip.
to the hotel.
All right.
You look up her address, which I will put out on the thing later. It is a 3-story beach house that she has with a rooftop deck. It's flat topped. It looks to be made of newcrete with some tumbled stone accent all over it. A lot of windows. It has a lower door that leads into the basement, a main floor door that's actually kind of the second floor, and then a third floor which looks like balcony entrances. There's an exterior metal spiral staircase that leads from the third floor up to the roof deck. It's right on the Pacific. Just down off a private road. Oops.
Are there any other houses on that private road?
No.
Excellent.
I have a question.
Yes.
Are there any properties for sale in her immediate vicinity?
How big of a net are you casting?
Let me answer your question with a question. You said it's pretty much by itself on a private road. Are there other similar properties within a distance that you might call yourself a neighbor?
Yes.
So could I throw a
just
house?
I just bought the house on Coconut Drive.
Hi, neighbor.
Yeah, hi neighbor.
Yes.
So the road, the private road she lives on is named Princess Street.
Of course it is.
There is a house about a block and a half away for sale.
I mean, we don't even like necessarily have to buy it, right? We can just knock on her door with a fruit basket and be like, "We just bought that house." Hi, new
Exactly.
neighbor."
I mean,
Exactly. Yeah, we're not trying to buy the house. We are
Yeah.
pretending that we
Pretending
bought
to
the
have
house.
bought
I mean, we
You-
could.
Unless
You
unless
could probably buy the house.
unless Zed is trying to extend his real estate profile by purchasing the house.
I mean, if I can expense it and then flip it later.
I
why
mean,
not?
the fact of the matter is that you know, Zed, that these kind of people don't drop fruit baskets off to their neighbors. That's not the.
I know.
Um,
I'm just trying to get a lay of the land for any possible resources. we
yeah,
can
there's a house nearby. Again, about a block and a half away.
I did put some extra points into deceit when we leveled up. Just throwing.
You
that
too?
out there. Yeah. I figured I got some practice during the whole lockdown thing.
Looking into that property.
Her
is
property
it
or their.
No, the one that's for sale.
Yeah.
Is it also is it like just for sale, or is it also for lease? You know, are they? Is it like full on purchase, or are there
You
other
can
options?
do
Can we
a
Airbnb it?
you can do a short term or long term lease.
How long? Let's sign up for a short term lease.
Going through their web portal, they ask you how long of a short term: 3 months, 6 months, or 9 months.
3 months for the season.
3 months. Okay. That would be 180,000 souls.
All right, we'll sign up for that.
Okay. They ask for information. You have to do a chip read and send them all the information for the buyer. So whose chip's getting scanned?
Wanna do my
Shawn's
ghost
going.
chip?
Shawn's going to use their new ghost chip.
Ooh, so fancy.
Yeah.
Do you inform the IOG that you have a new ghost chip? I asked this for a reason related to what you're doing now. Did you inform them you got a new ghost chip?
Hang on. Yes, I did.
Okay. That's good. So you had received a message saying that they have basically backed up your ghost chip and made it
Okay.
essentially real.
Oh. Then.
So,
Told them about mine.
you send in your new ghost chip.
Apex wouldn't do that. She doesn't.
It
trust the
says,
corpse.
please wait 90 minutes for confirmation.
Okay.
After 90 minutes, you receive an email that gives you the door code to
All
your
right. Awesome.
to your new location at 1720 Torrey Pines Road.
All right.
I'm just gonna say out of game for a second. If we were really smart, we would have saved that for the last thing to happen in season 1, so that season 2 could be the Chaos Incorporated reboot, Beach House version. We have failed our audience. I'm sorry.
Oh,
Okay, but
you see how much they put through themselves to be great for you.
It's
All right.
really
True.
not that much effort.
I mean, we can have a beach. We can do like a beach party instead. So
So, yeah, I mean,
beach blanket murder.
you've got a house rented for the next 3 months.
I would like to make 2 phone calls.
Okay.
The
Shawn
first
starts
phone
packing.
the first phone call, I don't think I have it in my notes anywhere, but our guy, the guy with the fire hands, I think his name was like Jonathan.
Roberto.
Wow, Robert.
You were really close though.
I was not. I had letters. I said word. That was as close as I got.
You're doing fine.
I said a name. All right, so I'm gonna call Robert.
Caleb, it's okay. Names are hard.
He says,
They really are. I'm so bad with them.
long time. What do you want?
I want to make sure you're alive. See if you're okay.
I'm alive.
All right. How's that payroll treating you? You need any more?
I mean, I wouldn't say no to more.
Okay. So we are going to be going out of town for a little bit. I just want to make sure you take care of yourself. You know what's going on. Don't really know exactly what we're doing, but it definitely has something to do with Aguilar and the people that did whatever they did to you. So I want to keep you in the loop.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything you can give us about how this shit happened to you?
We got picked up years ago. They took us to some lab and effed with us for like 2 years. They exposed us to some rock.
So we know Aguilar's behind a lot of this. Did you see any faces? Did you know any names? Have you picked up anything in the years between?
Not really. She had assistants, but most of them were biohazard suits. She's the only one I remember. But if you take her out, I'd probably be a lot less upset about you killing my sister.
And I think that's a fair business trade. It was you and your crew, right? Or at least you've made a crew of like people.
Yeah,
through this.
we're thinking about going out somewhere where we hear we'll be safer, away from the cities.
Definitely a good idea. There's potentially a lot of stuff going down. So if you can get out of the corporate footprint, definitely be a good idea.
Word.
Cool. Well, boop, boop, boop. I'll wire him. Shit, I don't know. 100K?
Okay.
What's money?
Maxi
That's like-
comes out with
That's like, I'm paying to keep myself alive. So this guy doesn't hunt me down and murder me.
Even though
Maxi
it's
comes
Maxi's
out.
fault.
Maxi comes out with a small bag packed, a small duffel, and then he comes out wearing what looks like the best analog I can think of is James Bond's like swimming outfit for Casino Royale. Like it's the light gray linen shorts, like the linen
Nice.
shirt,
Love it.
unbuttoned. He's got like a small pressure bandage over his wound. He's wearing a pair of like beach sandals. Are we ready to leave?
At about that time, Shawn walks out of the other bedroom wearing almost the same thing but completely different. A Hawaiian shirt, neon yellow board shorts that
Nice.
hang down past their knees, black socks, and sandals.
I'm just surprised that Zed's alter ego hasn't made a reappearance.
Reserving that for a special occasion.
I do want to text Alondra, just to give her a heads up of where we're at.
Okay.
I'm gonna say, hey, how you doing? Gonna take down Kelly Aguilar. Have a great day.
Deuces.
She's like,
XOXO. Apex.
random, but sure. Try to not get dead.
Always do.
Heart you.
That's probably our best conversation, honestly.
Hey, Apex, two things. One, do you have anybody local who could maybe come and drive the van around every couple days? I don't want the
Oh.
battery to die. And that way it'll look like if anybody's following that, it'll throw them off maybe more.
Yeah. I can call up one of my friends.
Okay.
Do I need to spend ID points?
No, that's
Okay.
you've got plenty of friends who are like in bands who could use an extra couple hundred souls a week to
They're-
like
They're gonna love it.
to
Yeah, I was gonna say
drive
don't
around a thing.
don't spend ID points. Just spend souls.
So, yeah, I think
Okay.
that's not hard for you to do.
Okay, cool.
All right. More importantly, before we get going again, are you doing okay? I mean, you got caught and hijacked and arrested in an elevator.
Yeah, it was pretty scary. Being alone without my tech and not knowing what to do. I think we
I
should
mean,
like not split up the group.
agreed. We
Okay.
probably should stick closer together. Yes.
Yeah. Also, I feel like you and I, our skills really complement each other. So, where I can be a little more heavy-handed and reckless, you have more of the finesse. And a lot of jobs need both, you know?
I mean, we've known for a long time we make a good team when we team up, so
Yeah.
it only makes logical sense to stay close.
Yeah.
So no dying.
Oh, yeah, no, I don't want to. Yeah, that's.
Okay. I'm not planning on it either. Just I want to get that out there.
Okay, good. Yeah, no. It's gonna be fine. We're gonna
Yeah,
take down
we're okay.
Tibet,
I mean-
and we're gonna, stop the war.
And maybe go to space.
Oh, that'd be fun. Maybe we just retire
know,
in
right?
space. I just want to like get my hands on some of that tech.
I know, right?
Yeah. Let's do it. Save the world, retire in space.
Yes.
Cool.
Grab that case. It's got the extra cupcakes and donuts in it.
Oh, perfect. There's like good food in space, right? 'Cause that's kind
I'm
of
sure they got the
requirement.
dehydrated ice cream.
Oh, that's good stuff. It's kind of like sweet styrofoam, but it's real good.
Oh yeah.
I love it.
Are we leaving anytime soon?
Oh,
Waiting for Zed.
Zed walked back in after his first phone call and saw what y'all were wearing and just walked back outside because he needed a second. I also want to call Swan.
What's up?
So we just got out of Malfinia by the skin of our desperate teeth over here. How are you?
I mean, anything that's hurting Malfinia is always a good day for me, and I'm glad to see you don't have a bullet in your head. So, win-win.
Yeah, Maxi just got stabbed.
How did Maxi get stabbed?
He did it himself. It was
Are you-
cover.
I was like, are you on speaker, Zed?
No.
Oh, he's like, I'm going to have to ask Maxi why he stabbed himself. That's a little weird. But all right.
He's a weird guy.
Yeah.
What's
What's up?
So we are.
You're lucky you're not on speaker.
I'm on. I think I'm on the balcony with the door closed. So yeah, we're going down. We're down south a little bit to where I think someone by the name of Kelly Aguilar lives.
That'd be a good get.
Yeah. We were chit-chatting, and since we don't really know where all these different players are at their level of development, we thought, why not go to the source and see what we can figure out?
You think she's backed up all the data that she's done for all these other corps?
It's the first thing I would do if I were her. I would have duplicate, triplicate, quadruple backups to save my ass.
I mean, it'd be a good insurance policy.
Right. Is there anything you know about her? Any info?
So, yeah, stuff I've heard, scuttlebutt.
I mean, I know she's like a whacked out crazy for what she's doing.
I mean, the rumor is she makes Mengele look like Mother Teresa.
I mean, yeah, this is MK Ultra to an extreme
I mean,
degree, right?
Beyond that, word has it she's got some weird ass extracurricular activities that are lovingly covered up for by the corpse. You know that whole insurance thing? It goes both ways. My read of it is they know some shit about her and she knows some shit about them. And both of them basically hold that over each other's heads and ensure that if anything goes wrong, it gets released.
Yeah, mutually assured destruction.
Bingo.
So we also heard that she's got some sort of wacky extraction policy with Benevolent, taking her off planet.
I don't know where you heard that. That's outside my purview, but it's possible.
I heard it. You heard it. I don't know the details, but it's a thing.
It must mean she thinks that at some point she's going to have to make a move pretty fast.
Yeah. I feel like it's some sort of emergency extraction policy.
Benevolent has some extraterritorial stuff. It's how they ship foodstuffs out to the colonies.
Yeah. Do you have any intel that might help us get to her, extract her, get to her information database? I mean, we know where her house is, but I don't know if she's holed up there, if she's got a secondary base of operation.
You're fortunate. The metal dice just rolled a natural 20. Okay.
I'm excited for a roll I didn't know was happening.
I'm seeing if Swan had anything. My guess, he goes, so what I know is this. She maintains a satellite tether. It's a direct line of sight backup, right? So anything she's got in the house is going to have an immediate backup in space.
Like a synchronous orbit.
Bingo. So there's a couple of companies that provide, let's call it vaulted information, like information vaults, that they store outside of where it's easy to get to. Right? Now, my guess is she probably keeps that information pretty close to her. And I've heard she likes trophies. And if she's like anybody else like that, she keeps her trophies close by.
Interesting.
So, take that for what
Okay.
it's worth.
Yeah.
In the background, from inside behind the glass, you hear Maxi kind of loudly saying, "Are we leaving?"
I do the
We
whole...
are waiting for Zed.
I'm on the phone!
Did you pack the donuts?
Okay. Well, that's some good info. If you hear anything else, keep me in the loop. I'll keep you in the loop. Oh, by the way, I got this local kid, and I'm going to send him Robert's contact info. I don't know if I did this already.
You have. You sent it to her.
Okay. So yeah, you know that local kid Robert, that
Yeah.
augmented dude.
Yeah.
I'm keeping him on payroll for a little bit just in case. He's kind of got it in his head that he wants to take me and Maxi out, but if we take out Aguilar, he doesn't care. I'm not super worried about it.
He'll probably care less.
Yeah, he might be getting out of the city. I'm not sure, but hey, don't forget about him if you need a resource, or just keep him on your radar. If you need some money, I got it. Whatever.
Yeah.
All right. Well, take care of yourself. Stay alive. We'll be around.
Oh, last thing about Aguilar.
Mm.
She's like majorly cybered out. Like, she's a body mod addict.
Really?
Yeah, it's all hidden under fib skin, and she wears. So, apparently, she wears a crap ton of fib skin anytime she's out doing business. But word has it, she has cybered everything she can out of her. So if it's not internal organs or something that you need to keep you alive, it ain't real no more.
Everyone's got a kink.
just something to keep in mind, brother.
Yeah, that one's real good to know. I'm gonna go tell.
I just
Maxie not
remembered.
to stab her. All right. Okay. Well, thank you. Stay alive. Give me a call if you need anything.
All right. Talk to you later.
Later. So I'll go back inside. Okay. So do you want the bad news or the bad news?
Can we talk about this in the van on the way to our vacation?
We're not
I thought
taking the van. We're taking.
We're not
the
taking the
SUV.
van. The armored SUV, right?
Are you going to
Yeah.
drive down, or are you going to take low orbital, or are you going to take the bullet train?
Or
Oh, let's
Bullet
take the bullet
train.
train.
Bullet train. Maxi has to throw somebody off of it.
Isn't
It's a very pretty ride down the coast.
Yeah, bullet train.
yeah. Isn't that a Bush song? Oh, that's Japanese freight train. I thought it was Japanese.
You're thinking of throw mama from the train.
So you all grab a not Uber, to the train station and hop onto the bullet train. It's about, so here to Angel City is about an hour and a half, which if you went by car is actually closer to 9. Probably another 45 minutes after a 15-minute stop at Central Angel City. There's a couple of stops on the way, but you do manage to get down to that part of the southern piece of Angel City.
And we'll get a ride share to our new house.
It's not the nicest house on the block, but it is right on the beach. I mean, direct beach access.
s'mores. Make s'mores on the beach.
Yes, so there's direct beach access down. There's a 3-car garage. Roof is all solar panels. You don't have a thing, but it's 5 bedrooms, 4 baths. It's at the end of a little drive with 3 other houses on that drive. Again, it looks like nobody's lived here for a little while. When you walk in, there's like travertine floors. There's a lot of brass. Whoever lived here last really liked like copper, brass, and very like beige things. The curtains are all just this stark white that actually kind of needs to be washed. They're looking a little dusty and dingy. It's got a nice balcony off the back, fire pit on the upper portion that leads down to the beach. It's nice.
As soon as the doors are opened, Maxi kind of pushes his way ahead.
Mm-hmm.
Drops his bag in the largest bedroom. Heads out the back door, or the back. I would assume it's like a patio.
It's a slider. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, heads out the slider. Grabs one of the old worn deck chairs. Takes it out to almost the edge of the water and sits down and just like sits there.
It's about 100 yards down to like the beach, down a little path. But yeah, you get down there.
Yeah. He takes this kind of beat up.
It's an Adirondack chair.
Yeah. I mean,
like
it's
faux wood Adirondack.
Yeah. He takes it down there and he just lets his feet sit in the water.
Maxi has a goal, as the chat says.
Can I do just a quick scan to make sure this place isn't like bugged or something weird?
Give me a networks check.
Let's see. $38.
Minimal network stuff in this house. Whoever lived here last was probably like as close to a Luddite as you can get. The appliances in this house are all at least 35, 40 years old. Everything that is old is new again. They're that olive green color.
Wow.
Right? They have brass. They have brass fittings on everything. It's like faux late 20th century 1970s chic in the kitchen.
It's like steampunk in the 70s
Yeah.
had a horrible child.
Yeah, basically.
Or, like wallpaper, like that yellow floral.
No, it's not wallpaper.
This-
All the interior wall is like flat, non-textured, like various colors. There's some really obnoxious accent walls that are like, one of them's bright, like fire engine red. One of them is bright purple. In the kitchen, there is a seashell wallpaper border
Classic.
at the top.
This place is 100% old Maxi's vibe. Like, Maxi of the past would have bought this house just reading about it sight unseen.
So, yeah, that's, I mean, I said, there's no furniture in here. It's been cleared out. Like I said, you'd guess it's been vacant for probably a month or two, which isn't surprising with houses like this. They, especially this one, it's going to command a premium price because of its location right on the beach. But anybody who is actually going to want to live here for a period of time would probably have to stick, you'd guess, at least 1 million souls into basically gutting it. The only technology you see is there's a doorbell camera. There's a garage door opener that is remote controlled. There's baseline grid access in pretty much every room. But when you go look for the network closet, which is pretty standard, the Wi-Fi router that they have in there is at least 15 years old and does not appear to be functioning.
I'm going to make a quick call on my Glow to the nearest place that does like cleaning services and furniture rental, and get like some maids here real quick. And before end of day, I'm going to get 4 beds, a couple couches, just, table, 4 chairs.
So
get some basic amenities.
The maid service is going to cost you about $2,000 for last minute service, but they'll be out in 2 hours. And the rent a center says they can't get you beds today, but they'll get them to you tomorrow.
All right, and we'll get some food in here too. So
you order groceries in Zed.
Can we also order some replacement tech? Like, can we replace the network equipment? Can we get some of our typical hollow tables that we end up doing our prep work on, that kind of thing? Can we order that in? Or would that be too conspicuous?
No,
a
that's
little conspicuous, I would think.
I think you could probably get away with it.
Maybe there's like some portable versions of that style of thing that would be like designed for corporate retreats.
You're pretty.
If we're renting this place, we could certainly have the equipment delivered, surreptitiously, right?
I mean, you could order some commercial off-the-shelf stuff that Shawn and Apex could modify, and it wouldn't really raise any red flags.
Okay, that would work.
What was that thing that Adeline had? Was it like a digital scrambler?
Yes. Basically, it's a combination white noise generator and jammer.
We get some of those too, just in case. Is that like an off-the-shelf thing? Or
No.
Oh, okay.
Does Shawn or Apex have engineering or electronics?
Yes, I believe I do.
I have engineering. I have mechanical or cybernetics/robotics.
I actually guess I do not. I have like computer hardware.
Yeah, a decent score in hardware.
And like communication, like ECM,
Give me
fiber optics, that
give me
kind
an
of thing.
ECM check.
What's ECM?
Electronic countermeasures.
Oh.
And the nerds
That's-
speak in chorus.
I know. I don't even know
20,
what that is.
23.
You're pretty sure you could dummy something up. You're not sure if it would be as effective as the one that Adeline managed to pull out of her purse. But you could probably dummy something similar up. It would be a wideband thingy. It would probably be a little more conspicuous than the one that she had, too.
Yeah.
So, I said, you've got a 4-bedroom. It's
5-bedroom,
or
4 bath.
Yeah. And it's a ranch style, so it's a single, single story.
Is there also like,
It's big.
is there a local place to get food from, or is this we just order and it's all drone delivered?
Mostly drones.
When we were driving here, did we pass Kelly Aguilar's place?
Yes.
Was there a vehicle in the driveway?
You couldn't see. She has
Oh,
a gate and a walled courtyard.
of course. She did.
Great, more parkour.
I should have.
I still have that.
There is an adjacent house to hers that's actually remarkably close to it, but you didn't see anything about that. Again, hers kind of bumps off a little private road and toward the point that's just north of you.
I still have my my little drone that we used on Frat Boy's place to kind of spy on him and get some scanning. I'm gonna launch that in the air and head it down towards Kelly's.
Okay. You honestly, if it weren't for the trees blocking your view, you could almost see her house from the back of your house. 30 feet, 40 feet of clearance from the drone, and you've got a pretty clear shot of the back of her house. The back of her house is straight flat. Like, there is no entrances on the back side that you can see. There's one on the side of the house that looks like it goes into the garage. There's a lot of big bay windows, but they've got anti-peep clear stuff on it. So basically, they've got a coating on the inside to make it look like a mirror from the outside. So you can't get a clear view inside the house from any of the windows on the outside.
All right, I'm gonna land my little bird drone on the house you said was remarkably close to hers.
Yep.
And I'm gonna use it to do a try and scan what she's got for a network.
Give me another networks check.
My newly upgraded network skill. And my really poor rolls. 41.
So the roof has a satellite transceiver on it. It's a small one, but it's hooked to a pretty decent looking power thingy. You're guessing she's probably got Malfinia, and again, these are not weird for rich people to have these under their houses. She's probably got a micro Malfinia like generator underneath the slab.
Okay.
So there's plenty of power draw. You don't see any Wi-Fi signals, and in fact, it's noticeable. It's like a dead spot. There's also another antenna on the roof that looks like it's more standard 5 and 6 gigahertz territory. So you're guessing that's how she's getting outside. That, or she's got a hard line like fiber going back to the trunk.
Okay. Are there any cameras on the roof?
Yes.
Watching out or watching in?
Primarily watching out. The only in one really watches the metal spiral staircase that goes from what looks like the upper floor to the roof deck.
Bedroom access.
So is the 5 gigahertz, 6 gigahertz antenna left unmonitored?
How do you mean?
So if someone were to manage to get on the roof and get access to that antenna, would they be on camera?
No. You'd have to come straight down on top of it, like parachute style, but in theory, no.
Or loop the camera footage long enough for somebody to get up there? Okay.
You note by looking at the networks that all the cameras are hardlined into something in the house. You're guessing she's got, and again, not strange. You're guessing she's got a small internal server inside her house.
Okay. I route that over to all that stuff over to Apex. It's like she's locked up like Fort Knox.
Yeah, I kind of figured she would be.
Interestingly, you don't see any security personnel anywhere on site.
Hmm.
Are
All
there
right, I'm going to keep
any-
the drone there for surveillance for right now. Go ahead, Steph. Sorry.
Are there any workers of any kind, like gardeners or?
Nope. Not currently. Looking at her landscaping, give me a perception check.
Let's see. Oh my goodness. Do I add my watcher to that?
Yes.
Okay, so that's amazing. That's 31.
So it looks like on her portion of the property there is no landscaping. The trees that are between your house and hers are maintained on the property next door. The back of her house is flat grass. There's basically, aside from the trees on the south side, which are again on the adjacent property, anywhere on her property has at least a 15-yard clearance with no shrubbery. So if anybody comes by to mow that grass, and it looks like they do, they probably only have to do it like once a week. Aside from that, there is no plant life on her property.
Would there be a way for us to cut the power to her place?
No, it's a Malfinia. I mean, if you could hack the thing, but you'd probably have to be inside to do it. Just like you did inside Malfinia's tower.
Put a hard line somewhere.
I mean, if you could figure out where she's jacked into the trunk, possibly.
Based on drone... Oh, go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna ask if that's like a networks check or something.
No, not so much a networks check, because again, you're looking for a physical box somewhere nearby. Probably within how far? In optical fibers.
Is it multi-mode or single mode?
I'm looking.
It's like 500 to 1,000 meters.
Yeah, it's got to be within about 1,000 meters of the house. But I mean, when you draw 1,000-meter circle around her house and, exclude the ocean,
Yeah.
Let's see. You're looking at, probably a quarter of a square mile.
Okay. What were you gonna say, Kaylee?
Using the drone video footage, she has beach access, right? She's right on the beach.
Yes.
Does it look like she ever goes out on the beach?
Give me a perception check.
Where is my perception? 20, non-natural.
It looks like somebody does.
Okay.
I would remind you that all the information says that she does have a spouse.
I forgot about that.
So while everyone has been getting set up and settled and starting to do research, I went and ordered some food and I am setting up like a seafood boil on the beach.
Oh,
So I built a big ass bonfire. I got one of those big pots. I'm mixing in like some Cajun spices, the orange flavoring. I've got a ton of fresh seafood from the area. That's what Zed's been working on.
nice. I like it.
Priorities. I did not bring up some of the stuff I found out from Swan, except for generalities while we were traveling, just because I wanted to be cautious of where we were from an observation standpoint. But now that we're here in the beach house, whether we sit together and start planning earlier or whether we do it over dinner, that's where I'll share some of the information that Swan gave me.
Once Apex and Chone kind of come to a point where they run out of things, and Chone notices what Zed's doing out on the beach, they head out for about 45 minutes and come back with what looks like a large speaker and some other electronics, and goes down to the beach and starts setting up like a speaker system and starts DJing music.
Nice. Very nice.
Maxi doesn't move from that chair the entire
Oh,
afternoon.
we're set up near you too.
Yeah.
So like,
I'll
Bring
I
food.
will check on you to make sure you're okay.
Yeah, you note that Maxi has taken off his shirt. He's like laying on his stomach now.
Getting that
In
360
the
sun coverage. I'm
Adirondack.
with you.
Yeah, he's turned over, but he's lightly snoozing on the beach when you go to check on him.
As I'm getting everything ready, like dinner wise and stuff, I'll bring a plate of like antipasta and charcuterie and drinks. I'll just nestle them in the sand, like, you know, when you bury a plate and a beer
Yep.
bottle in the sand a little bit. If you're snoozing, I'll just bring them over and leave them there while I'm prepping stuff.
He's lightly snoring when you approach, and as soon as you set the plate and bottle down, you hear a soft thank you.
No problem. But then I'm thinking I'm gonna try to time dinner for like sunset.
oh yeah.
Perfect.
Set a good table. We can all come together.
So you have a lovely dinner. Train food's okay, but not great. It's kind of like airplane food. So now you're just crushing it now. You're very relaxed. You do get a message from Adeline. She says, in the message are a series of attachments. One is the last set of plans that were submitted to the Angel City Municipal Code Office for the last time the house was remodeled. Kelly Aguilar's house. She also says that it looks like she built this thing to where it's her personal like fortress of solitude. But she also lets you know that Kelly Aguilar also owns another piece of property on the southeast, like really far southeast side of Angel City. It looks like a very small warehouse, literally like throw a rock to the Mexican border.
Huh.
Like,
Sus.
can see the border.
With a spoon, could dig underneath the
Yes,
border.
pretty much.
Can I ask Adeline if she has any intel on the satellite stuff that Swan told me about?
She says she's not surprised. There's a couple of those corporations that, again, basically they maintain electronic copies and backup files of various stuff. So let's say you're a rich person and your chip is damaged, right? They'll maintain a backup copy of your chip, right? They will maintain backup copies of all your key records, crypto wallets, stuff like that, in case something gets waylaid, earthside. So, not peculiar, but what are you asking? Are you asking us to try and crack it open and see what's there?
I'm just exploring options right now.
Yeah. I mean, that would definitely raise some red flags immediately.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, we're sitting around at dinner. We're trying to plan some strategy. So we know she's there. We know.
Actually, we don't know that for sure.
You're right. Good
We
point.
don't have eyes on her.
Might be worthwhile just to hang out for a couple days and see if we can observe movement around the house.
They've got
But
a bird in
according-
the air right now. We can keep an eye out if they come and go.
Yeah. According to these plans. How recent were the plans, by the way?
About 4 years ago.
So we know 4 years ago, this place was built to spec and locked down.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably only gotten better and more secure since then.
She has blast-resistant coatings on all the windows. The interior curtains are blast curtains. And it's got a no-peek coating on the inside of the windows to ensure you can't look in. The walls are reinforced Nucrete. It's steel frame construction.
And I've got to... Is this... You said it was a 3-story house.
Yes.
I've got to believe that she's got some sort of lab in there. We know that she
There is a
has
Malfinia power stack inside, underneath the slab.
I was going to say that she's probably got a secret basement, but we're on the beach, so there's no secret basement. But she's cybered to all get out.
The alternate
she-
facility might also have something. You're not sure.
Yeah. She's got to have somewhere where she can work on herself.
And you say there's likely no basement, but she could have a bunker.
True.
You're pretty sure, looking at these Maxis, that this is her bunker.
She may have like another safe room inside, but the water table is so low.
Yeah. And so,
Yeah.
I mean, again, she owns that small warehouse on the other side of town. That could be a lab of some sort.
So, like, how far is that warehouse by car?
Oh, God. In traffic?
It's not like she can zip over after work and come home for dinner.
No. It's probably about an hour and a half, hour and 45 minutes.
So if she's going to the warehouse, it's an intentional trip.
Yes.
It's not like she's just going to swing by.
Yes.
We don't know where she is currently. We don't know who she's working for currently. We have seen someone physically in the house, but we don't have an ID.
I mean, you've got information on who her spouse is. Her spouse's name is Joni Kearns.
Just real quick, I want to double check. This is happening inside the house, correct? This little powwow.
I assumed y'all were on the beach.
We're on the beach.
You're not in a public area of
Yeah.
the beaches. So the space that you have rented, in fact, let me go back over there on my map here. There you are. The space that you have rented, your beach access is probably, I mean, what's definitively yours. And there's little like markers at the edge that kind of show which plot owns which section. Yours is probably 30 yards wide.
Okay.
So I presumed you all were kind of sitting in the center of it near the water, like having your boil, and you don't see a lot of activity.
Are these plots blocked? Like, is the beachfront actually blocked, or is it just marked to note, here's the property line for this property?
Yeah,
Here's the
so
property line
at
for
this point-
but you could walk down the beach. Unfettered?
From the location that you can see, yes. If you look on a glow, what you will see is about, I don't know, probably about a mile up the beach, there is a fence that fences off this section from the public areas.
But not our section from hers.
Correct.
Okay.
And then there's another fence about 500 yards down the beach from where you are that goes into some like heavy rocky area, like a little cliff.
Maxi's going to stand up and kind of stretch and grab another beer and start walking down the beach toward Kelly's complex.
Okay.
Can I remind you not to engage in melee, please? Very worried for your health.
You get a hand wave, and then there's a little flip, and a little bounce across the beach. This small little object kind of rolls to your feet, and it looks like it's the pressure bandage.
Oh gosh. Should we be worried?
I mean, so the tide is currently out. Maxi, as you walk out, you actually see there's some minor like cliffs, like small like 15-foot cliffs in front of you. You can see when the tide is out, you can walk all the way around to her section of the beach. When the tide is in, you don't think it's accessible.
Okay.
That like you couldn't walk straight through because of where it kind of juts out into the ocean. You can see to your west San Clemente Island, and to your northwest you can see Catalina Island out in the Pacific. What are you looking for?
Maxi's taking a walk to see if her compound is accessible from the beach, and also just to basically get an on-the-ground scouting.
It is accessible from the beach, but again, what's interesting to you about it is there's no back door.
Mm-hmm.
There's a side door on the lowest level that looks like it leads into the garage.
Mm-hmm.
But aside from that,
and again, Maxi's doing this as a walk. He's not staring at the complex. He's not, he's trying to be very casual about his information gathering.
One of the things you note on the plans that you were sent, there is an elevator in the center of the house.
Oh no!
There is an elevator core.
Abort mission.
No more elevators.
Screwed.
Apex is not allowed within this facility.
What's interesting is the elevator doesn't go all the way to the roof. It only goes up to the upper floor, and then you have to take the only way onto the roof is the coming out on the balcony from the upper floor, through the double doors in the front of the house, up the little metal spiral staircase, and onto the roof deck. It's the only way out there.
Weird.
I'd like to use my surveillance skill to check to see if there's anybody like basically making rounds, if there's any guards, if there's any presence.
Give me a roll.
Yeah. I'm gonna roll at least one die tonight. I'll take it. That is where'd it go? Surveillance 4. 17.
No. You see no guards, no presence, no nothing.
Does the beach look like it's been disturbed recently?
Not since the last time the tide came in. But that only gives you the last however many hours.
Yeah, got it. All right. Maxi will continue his walk past the Aguilars, or past Kelly's property. He'll probably walk actually down to that public fence line, then just turn around and walk back.
There's a gate in the fence that you can access from your side where you can open it, and it looks like on the outside there's a chip scanner. Just on the outside of it, you see some restaurants and then the public beach area. Then beyond that, you see like a club / hotel,
Okay.
like a resort. And
Noted.
it looks like it's a few miles of open beach after that.
All right. Then Maxi will take a casual walk back, and dipping his feet in the water, low tide, kind of weaving up and down the beach. Enjoying the quiet.
Maxi is at peace.
Hey, he's on vacation. At
right.
least for maybe another day or two. And Maxi returns to, walks up slowly.
Adeline
down
sends
the
you
beach.
plans from the planning department for that warehouse. It looks like it could be used as a clean room. It's got a bigger Malfinia stack underneath it. It's not huge, but it looks like the only direct access in is a vehicle entrance, basically. It's like a garage door. There's no personnel door in.
Great.
Dun dun dun.
Cool.
Anything else?
Blow it up and draw her out and bada bing, bada boom.
I'm assuming the warehouse is built to the same specs that the house is.
Similar. Yep. This is somebody that when she's not in public does not want anybody to know what she's doing. Shawn, your bird does see eventually a very nice car come up to the house. The gate opens into the courtyard. That car pulls into the garage. The garage closes behind it.
Okay, did I get any identifier on the car?
You got an electronic plate.
All right, can I run that?
Yep.
Oh, that's a much better roll. 22, 32. Math is hard. 49.
It is registered to Kelly Aguilar and her spouse, Joni Kearns.
Okay, I will pass that information on to the team. Somebody's home. We still don't have visual confirmation, but
Now you know that people are around. And actually, that's where we're going to end tonight.
All right.
Everyone,
All right.
thank you for joining us, everybody in the chat. You are all wonderful. We will be back with the final episode of Season 1 of Chaos Inc. in 2 weeks. 2 weeks, season finale. We will see what the player characters do. It's going to be great. So, again, thank you all for joining us. Kaylee, where can people find you on the internets?
Right now, the best place to find me is redemptionpodcast.com, the home of the Redemption Podcast, which is the oldest, currently still running, though currently on hiatus, till the fall, Star Wars actual play podcast on the net. You can also find me on Twitch at twitch.tv/animegirl, where I'm very badly playing Overwatch and Tiny Tina's Wonderlands lately.
Nice. Very nice. And the Redemption Podcast has a YouTube channel that everyone should go subscribe to because it's awesome.
We did get 100 subscribers, so thank you all.
Do you have did you get your custom URL yet?
It is youtube.com/something redemption podcast, yes.
Awesome. That's great. So everybody go subscribe to that. Which brings us to the other member of the Redemption Podcast crew, Michael.
Hey, y'all. Michael, you can follow me on social media at LoserMLW. You can see me here on Mondays. You can also hear me on Redemption. And I think... Oh, you can also find me on the 3T podcast. That's Tubular Teens with Titans. It is a Power Rangers inspired audio drama. I get to play the scenery chewing villain, Harbinger. So you can find me there. Again, you can find that at Tubular Teens with Titans. If you look that up on any podcast catcher.
That is wonderful. Steph, what about you?
You can find me on social media as at Starlit Firefly. You can hear me on the podcast Cthulhu and Friends, which is at CAF Podcast. You can hear me on my other podcast, Sawyer and Bennett and Zombies, which is at Sawyer and Bennett. And if you feel like leaving a review on your podcast app or whatever, that'd be rad.
Yes. And finally, Caleb.
Yo, I am on the socials at the Caleb G. You can hear me here. You can hear me over on the RPG Academy here and there doing things. You can also follow my charity work on at I can't talk tonight. .5past.org on the socials. P5past. We are a Star Wars themed charity where we are creating free gaming content, soon by later this year, some podcast content as well. Everything is distributed free, and if you like it, there are links directly to Pelotonia, which is a cancer fighting research. So you can get some free stuff, some gaming stuff, and if you feel like it, give money to fight cancer. Next month being a big Star Wars month, we're going to have some Star Wars stuff coming out.
That's great.
Nice.
I'm working feverishly. And I've bitten off way more than I can chew, but that's me.
Yes.
Well, if you need help with Star Wars stuff, you know a couple people.
You do.
I do.
This is what happens to all of us. We forget about all the people we know and assets we have.
That's for sure.
Okay. As always, I am at Alex the Humanoid. You can find me on this thingy. We will be back on Wednesday for Identico After Dark, where we've just got, oh boy, it's gonna be an episode. It really is. So many goofy things to talk about in tech and gaming and all that other stuff. So come back and see us on Wednesday for Identico After Dark at 7 p.m. Pacific time. Thank you for joining us again. We'll be back with our season finale for Chaos Inc. in 2 weeks. We love you all and have a great night. Stay weird.